Remix.
Bachelor Nation, will you accept this rose? We love you. Love is in the air. It's magic. 'Cause love is on the air. On TV. So love is on the air. Podcast. It's a podcast. Podcast. Love is in the air. It's magic. 'Cause love is on the air. On TV. So love is on the air. A podcast. It's a podcast featuring Andy, Sarah, and Glenn. Bachelor Pod, it's the Bachelor Pod, it's a podcast about the Bachelor.
Will you accept this podcast?
We are so sorry. We lied to you. We've been sort of mentally dealing with this for the past few days. We promised a special weekend episode.
We did.
Several times over, I believe.
Yeah,
I don't even think it was mentioned more than once.
We assured it.
It was an assurance. It was a Bachelor Pod guarantee. And you know, we just don't put that seal on everything.
No.
You know?
Of course not.
Seal of quality.
Seal of approval.
It's a seal of grace.
Yeah.
And, power.
And we let you down because, Sarah's not here. It's very tough to line up those schedules with the time difference and things like that. So it just got away from us a little bit. It was my birthday also on the weekend.
That's true. Those of you outside of the province of Ontario probably didn't know this, but it was Family Day on Monday. That's a long weekend for us. While you Americans were celebrating President's Day, we were celebrating our families. Yeah. And it got away from us pretty quick. So we're sorry about that. I don't know if you had some time earmarked for a little bonus pod session, but we apologize again profusely.
Burn on us, huge burn on us. We really fucked up.
We didn't mean to trick you.
We're back this week, and in this very episode, you'll get a little Bachelor Winter Games recap because we do want to talk about it a bit.
We have to. We can't ignore that it's part of the universe now.
Of course,
we can't ignore any longer that it does exist and that it is out there, and that the finale, depending on when you listen to this, is on Thursday. So that might be tonight for all of you.
It could be tonight. It could be,
in the past. It could be yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a beautiful part about this podcasting world we live in.
And if you'll notice anything else about the show today, it's that we are without Sarah. So not only are we sans live as we will be from here on out, but we're also sans Sarah just for this episode, though. As again, that California schedule, she's out there. She's she's working, so she's not a ton of free time. So this is why it's just the two of us. It's just the dudes today.
Just the dudes. It's dude chat.
It's dude chat.
What up, yo?
So yeah, I actually watched this episode at Glenn's house.
Yeah, because Liv and I were away for Family Day long weekend, so we missed Andy's birthday, so we needed to celebrate that properly. So we got a bunch of beers and some Swiss LA chicken, which to those of all you who don't know, it's simply a rotisserie chicken joint that I'm sure we've mentioned several times on the show. We got a nice big fat bird. We got some cold brews, and we watched this episode.
And we had a good time. And then later we watched Olympics, but we can talk about that after.
That's true.
Yeah, this app.
Yeah, this was...
Hometowns.
This is a monumental episode, for heaven's sakes. We can't just treat this as if it was another home... 3-dater.
No way.
This was a 4-dater, and when you're talking about the daters, they were big daters.
Yeah, they were big daters. They were really. I mean, we're talking Uncle Gary. We're talking.
Oh, baby! I forgot about Uncle Gary.
Yeah, we're talking angry dads. We're talking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're talking psycho brothers. We're talking all kinds of stuff here.
Yeah. Oh, the psycho brother, man. Because we were having such a good time, I wasn't paying as much attention as I usually do. So this recap will actually be a recap for both Andy and I as well, I believe.
Yeah, for sure.
So our final four, we had Kendall, we had Tia, we had Beckak, and we had Lauren B. Going into it, I think last week we predicted, I don't exactly remember. We made a lot of bold predictions. I think I predicted Tia would go.
I think you did, yes. And I thought it was going to be Kendall for sure.
And Kendall was really I would argue, the focal point of this episode.
Yeah, it was weird.
They kind of gave her the story, and she led off the hometown dates. which I think was in LA, right? They were in California or something, I believe.
I don't know where they were.
Yeah, her roots are not as important. All you
Yeah.
need to know is that her family thinks she's quirky. She has a identical twin sister,
Named
and
Kylie.
yeah, Kendall and Kylie. And then
What's
what
up?
was her brother's name? Like Cody Carson or something? It was bad.
Yeah, it was
It was
weird.
another hard C sound. But the Kendall Kylie thing, weird coincidence.
Bizarre, right?
Yeah, really
Who's named that? Right?
Yeah, the Kardashian sisters. That's it.
That's so weird. So that was a bizarre thing. He takes her into the warehouse.
Yes, the
Well, she takes him
taxidermy
into it, right?
warehouse, which when we were watching, we were like, cool.
Yeah.
We thought the warehouse was pretty neat.
I thought it was neat. And like, I did not expect the next thing, though, where they were going to stuff the animals themselves.
That was surprising to me, and that
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I don't think they should have done that. But I just personally, I thought that was weird and a little gross. Stuffing that rat, stuffing that dead rat skin.
Some of that dead rat skin. Nothing says love and you're about to meet my family than holding the hollowed out shell of a once living animal, like, and shoving, I don't know, like a weird plastic boot inside of it.
I do admit when they started dressing them up and putting them in the diorama, that was pretty cute.
And
dead rat skin or no dead rat skin, I'm into sort of a dress up, sort of make believe thing.
Yeah.
Now, would you say that those rats? What kind of rats are we talking? These lab rats?
those
that
are
maybe
lab rats for sure.
Yeah,
Those
they
are like
gotta be
grown
rats.
lab rat. Those are grown rats for either laboratory use or like to feed to your snake.
Snake rats.
Those might be snake rats.
Friend of mine, Dave's listening right now. Dave, what up? He had a snake and he fed them little baby mice called pinkies.
Oh, that's so brutal.
They were like little embryos.
Oh man, the fact that Dave had a snake does not surprise me. I didn't know him then, but having a snake is like, isn't it pretty dangerous? Like if a snake gets out of that cage,
I
like
completely disagree with snake ownership. I think like I don't even care how safe the snake is. I just like no offense, Dave, but I feel like if you own a snake, you're a psycho.
yeah, there's something going on. Have a normal pet that you can like hang out with, you know?
Yeah, and speaking of normal pets, we've got to take a moment to shout out our good friend Matt's recently deceased, unfortunately. His bulldog, Buster, recently had to be put down, so we're going to shout out Buster.
Yeah.
Should we sing the Buster song?
think
It
we
doesn't really
should.
make sense to anyone.
We should sing the Buster song. I
this
think
is also
Buster
for you.
Yeah, it's deserved. Buster was a good boy.
Yeah, this is for all you Kiss fans,
Yeah,
too.
okay, here we go. Buster's mustard. Grab a hold of that custard.
Buster's mustard. If you want to get my
mustard. Buster's
mustard.
mustard. I don't know how that's going to come across because we're on Skype and there's definitely a delay.
Oh, yeah.
So it sounded okay to me, but I bet you it's terrible on the video.
Didn't sound okay to me, so that means it's terrible to me.
I bet that's bad
But
then.
if you're a hardcore doggy dude, you can check out Matt Ferris. What is that? A period 1936 on Instagram and see his beloved tribute to his beloved pooch, Buster. Buster, buddy, we'll see you in doggy heaven when we die.
Yeah.
And we're also dogs.
And we also get to go there on Sundays to visit the dogs.
Well, that's cute. I never thought about the afterlife.
Maybe
like
we
that.
get to do that. Maybe it's like there's an excursion to doggy heaven
That's interesting.
on a certain day. And then, or maybe it's like you get to go to animal heaven once every Thursday. So you get to, and you get to pick.
That's kind
It's
of
like,
a
I'm
nice
gonna
thought.
all the psychos go to snake heaven.
Yeah, if they pick snake heaven, they get a one-way ticket to hell. It's like, no, you failed.
The
failed
joke's
test.
on you. Actually, yeah, the test is that snake heaven is actually hell.
Have fun.
The fact that you even wanted to go to it means you're a psycho and you don't belong here. See you later. You're never coming back.
Yeah, to snake.
To snake
That's
heaven
actually
you go.
That's kind of a fun name for hell.
Snake heaven. Yeah, the snake
like
loves
that.
it there.
We were talking about this when you were over, but I watched an episode of Dr. Oz where it was about the afterlife, and 3 leading experts on the subjects took honest questions from the audience about what the afterlife was like, and it was stupid.
Yeah. On the show Dr. Oz.
Yeah, a medical doctor.
A medical doctor was discussing about what happens when you die, and he had 3 religious leaders on to talk about it.
It was like a joke. It
It's
was
a
like
joke.
a rabbi, a priest, and a nun walk onto the Dr. Oz show. Like that was actually it. I'm not even kidding. So
And then they all go to Snake Heaven.
that'd be a cool name for a metal album. I gotta write that down.
Snake Heaven.
That's wicked.
That does sound like a Fire Drill album for sure.
Yeah, we have a fake band named Fire Drill, and check out firedrillband.tumblr.com.
Oh yeah, right. Check that
That's
out.
fire with Y's.
Yeah, Fire and Drill
Drill.
both have Y's.
We're getting a lot of off topic.
Yeah.
No thanks to you, Kendall. Your heavy metal lifestyle really has steered us in a weird direction. But let's get back to Kendall. They did some shit, and then it was finally time for Hometown's namesake, where they went to her family home, where Kylie was there and her parents and shit. And what happened? I mean, the whole theme of the Kendall storyline is that she's not ready for engagement, right? And the Papa and Kylie kind of echoed that.
Yeah, the sister was definitely on that, right? She was really grilling both Ari and Kendall, and she really was trying to get at the heart of it. She saw something I think is definitely there. I think Kendall's smart, and I think she is convincing herself she likes Ari because she's on the show, which always happens. Every show it happens. Someone gets around this point, and you can tell they're just like, yeah, I like him a lot. I'm falling for him. Yeah.
Yeah, and I would say that theme is thicker than ever on this season, because I think more than ever the women are awesome this time. And not that they're not smart before, but even like Bekak, I feel the same way, that she's convincing herself that she's into him. Who else we got left? Tia. I mean, Tia's mind hasn't been on Ari for like 3 weeks, it seems. I don't even know how she got this far, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. Tia seemed a little apprehensive about the whole thing, like when they were on that fucking alligator date.
Yeah, that's right.
She seemed like when they were at that weirdo's house, I was like, is she into him? I don't know. And then Kendall's the same thing for me. It's like, she definitely wants to be into it. And that's the thing. They convince you so hard that give over to the process, give over, believe in it. It'll work for you. It's like, so everyone's in there going this doesn't feel right, but I have to give over to this. I have to pretend like this is working. This is what I have to do. So, and then that's why they all break up so often.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
No surprise there.
So Kendall's definitely doing that.
We laughed really hard when Kendall was talking to Kylie, and Kendall was expressing her feelings, and Kylie's like, you got to tell him all this, because Kendall said something like, oh, I'm really afraid to lose him. And Kylie's like, you got to communicate this or he's going to dump you, which is true. Mm-hmm. So then Kendall goes to Ari, I definitely see myself falling for you, which is like step 1 on the love ladder in The Bachelor. She should have said that weeks ago.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's like a night 3 thing, maybe, or like a night 2 even. She's doing it at hometowns.
We were saying some people drop the L bomb, a full love.
Oh yeah,
that's not uncommon. So you have to be at least falling for him at this point.
Oh yeah, you've got to be falling, and that's what he kept saying about her, right? This was the date where he kept saying it. I'm falling for her.
Yeah.
Or did he say that about all of them?
I think it was all of them.
Yeah,
but there was that one where he kept. Well, yeah, it was interspersed throughout the whole thing. It's like all the parents expressing concern. He's like, "Well, I'm falling for her." He didn't even know how that felt. He just knew what it sounded like out loud.
Yeah.
And he thought that's what would do it. And again, we've been saying all season, Ari lacked any kind of emotion at all through this whole thing. It looked like he was playing a game. It looks like, I know what I have to say to get through this. Yeah. And I'm going to execute the plan, and I'm not going to waver.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that is kind of how you have to approach it. I mean, you're getting grilled by 4 families here.
True.
So it's going to be tough, man. You can't show an ounce of weakness. They're going to jump on it. And I think that him and Kendall looked the weakest to me.
Yeah.
Which surprised me, which is why the rose ceremony surprised me, to be honest.
It was almost like he was on trial for murder, like some smarmy, like Patrick Bateman type, and the lawyers are trying to get through. We gotta get him to admit about these murders somehow.
Yeah.
And he just did not give anything. Like,
No.
he stuck to the game plan, same expression on his face.
Like, you can tell he murdered them, but like he just won't say it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you can
Oh,
tell
I know
he's not
you
in love
did.
with these women.
Yeah.
You can tell he's in this for fame and fortune, but no, he just won't admit it. Won't give an inch.
Won't give an inch.
But I will say, and Andy, I know you feel the same way, one of the coolest things about this episode, beside the dead rat skin, was when Tia, date 2, met up with him at the raceway, and Ari pulled off some sick moves.
Yeah, we were like, scoffing at the previous date, and like Ari's such a loser and all this stuff.
Yeah, and it was like, here's another Ari.
Great.
Racetrack.
Yeah, and then we're laughing at like, oh, what are they gonna do? Like, what's Tia's date gonna be? And a hometown date, and it's like a bunch of Southern shit, man. Like, this show, that's all this show does for her is like, hey, you guys are gonna be making fucking moonshine in your bathtub with, and it's like, oh, it's a racetrack. It's like, oh, it's a dirt racetrack. Yep, Southern shit. Here we go. And then Ari pulls off this sick move where he just like drifts around the corner, like around Tia's car, and both Glenn and I were just like, whoa, sick.
It was executed perfectly.
Yeah, we could not deny how cool that was.
Yeah, and then later he mentioned to one of the dads that he raced in the Indy 500, and we kind of looked at each other like, whoa,
he was in the Indy 500? It's like, that's pretty good. That's pretty impressive, I guess.
Like, yeah, race car Ari, he's all right.
Okay.
Love Ari?
Yeah, no. Yeah, race car Ari is definitely way cooler.
He's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Who's also pretty cool is Tia's psychopath brother, Jason.
100%.
Yeah, he had the look of a psycho. I'm sure he's not. We don't want to get.
He turned out to be very nice, right? Like, it wasn't. We weren't saying anything like that, but like he just looked like a biker or a wrestler or something. Like, he looked like he was gonna pop Ari's head off. Like,
all his posturing too. No matter what he was saying was like he was inches away from losing it and ripping Ari's face off.
I would have loved to see. I would have loved to see him like finding out that he dumped Tia. Like, that would have been. I'd love to see that.
Right.
I want to kill him. I want to tear him apart. Just going nuts. I would have loved to see that.
And it kind of, this date followed the same kind of plan as the rest of them, where the brothers and family members expressed concern. This time they were saying, he's a playboy, he's a kissing bandit, we've heard a lot about you. And then Ari just straight up denied everything. He stuck to the story, didn't give an inch.
That's what you have to do, I guess.
Ari said that I think this was the one where he kept saying, I'm falling for her. I'm falling for her. Like, what else do you need to know? And again, he asked for the blessing. And I got to admit, all these families were pretty cool. They're like, well, I trust my daughter, obviously. Yeah. So whatever they choose, we're going to go with it. And again, that's what ended up happening in a date that, I don't know, nothing much really happened, did it?
Yeah, no, not too much. They drove around a little bit, and then I was like, I don't know. They went and met the family, and it was pretty uneventful, aside from the psychopath brother. And no. Well,
and in comparison, Tia told Ari, I'm in love with you and not just falling in love with you. So she climbed up. That's 2 steps ahead of Kendall.
Yeah, she did. And it just turned around. I thought he was more into Tia than she was at first, and I guess it just the tables turned on these two.
Yeah, I don't know. She got some screen time there toward the end of this run, but a lot of it had to do with her feelings about other women.
Yeah, that's true. We can't. Yeah, we were saying how weird that was that she would even say something about Becca M that time, and then she said something about Kendall too, didn't she? Or something
this
like
time,
that?
Yeah. Was it this episode or last episode? Oh, it was last episode, I guess.
I thought that was weak. That's just weak. Like, just don't worry about it. Like,
yeah.
I guess it's normal to be threatened by the other women in the situation, because that's kind of like, it's almost like realistic, right? Like, obviously it's possible that he would like someone else over you on the show.
Right.
But like, you just can't concern yourself with it, really. You just kind of have to focus on your own stuff, as we always say.
And I mean, I think Tia is tailor-made for the franchise. I think she'll be back in Paradise, or I think she's a front runner for Bachelorette.
She's a definite Bachelorette possibility, no question about it.
Because Raven never managed to. She was a fan favorite. Tia's like Raven Light, pretty much.
Yeah.
So.
And I think people really like Tia.
Oh yeah,
I
definitely.
do. I liked her. Like, even despite saying that shit, like the stuff she said wasn't like so mean and like bitchy or catty or any of those like things that you might say, like something like that, like, no, I thought it was realistic. It's just that she didn't need to say them. Like, they were true.
Seem like genuine concern for once, but totally unnecessary. And we also did get to meet her sweet, what was it, Aunt Rhonda or something?
Oh,
they cheers to wieners. Oh my God, that was so funny. So perfect.
That was great.
Cousin, I can't.
Was it Cousin Rhonda and Aunt something else or whatever? It was
Cousin Rhonda and Aunt Rhonda.
They look great. You got that great screen grab of them on our Twitter account.
Cheersing wieners, go ahead and use that.
A real intense look. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. It was very good. Next date was with Beccack. Where did they go? Minneapolis.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah. This is the apple orchard.
They went to the apple orchard, and we made a joke that Ari ate like 40 apples because he's never had an apple before, and he didn't know you're not supposed to eat more than one.
Ari, you're supposed to clean those apples before you eat them.
How many did you eat? You just did like 25?
I ate like 20 of them.
I thought you were supposed to eat them like strawberries. What?
Because they kept showing him biting into an apple, and it always looked like a fresh one. Like, It looked like he ate like 4 apples out there. It's like, Ari, put the apple down. You have to go do the rose ceremony. Just one more.
They're so good. And I admit, man, an apple right off the tree is the best apple you ever have. So
yeah. I mean,
OD'd on apples there.
Crush those apples, man. Go for it.
We got to meet, more importantly, Becca's Uncle Gary, who was quite the character. He was like tailor-made for TV. We were comparing a lot of people on this episode to wrestlers, and I think Gary could have been he'd make a perfect manager in what do you call it? Sports entertainment. Look, like we had Tia's brother, Tia's dad. One of them looked like Rodney Dangerfield. Was that Kendall's dad? I don't remember.
Who was that? It wasn't Tia's dad. Was it Kendall's dad? Yeah, it was Kendall's dad. Kendall's dad looked like Rodney Dangerfield, sort of.
Yeah, like slightly younger and deflated.
Yeah.
And he also kind of resembled a wrestler. But in any case, Uncle Gary was a character who he became Beccack's surrogate father after her dad died of a brain tumor, unfortunately. And I mean, between all the sort of laughing about Uncle Gary and how he actually said some pretty deep stuff about Beccack and protecting her and stuff.
Yeah, he went deep right away too, like talking about the funeral and how he like did the funeral because he's a pastor and all this, and like Uncle Gary was not afraid, and he sounded drunk.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, I don't think he was, but like he sounded and looked drunk.
Yeah, I mean, some people are just like that.
Yeah.
That's just their demeanor. But I mean, let's face it, Uncle Gary seemed drunk.
He seemed drunk to me. Like, I was like, if I didn't know anything else about what was going on, I'd be like, well, that guy's drunk for sure.
Yeah, no context, you're calling drunk on him.
Yeah, I did the funeral, man. It was rough. Ari, it was rough. Let me tell you about it, man. Like, it was too much. It was like a drunk guy pulling you aside with like putting his arm around your
party.
Yeah, right. Just being like, listen, man, you know about my dad? He died.
You think you got problems? I got
problems. My dad died when I was 12 years old. It's like, okay, I don't know you that well, and you don't need to like. I feel for you, but I don't need to really get into this right now.
And it looked like it was heading towards somewhere where Gary might be like, I don't fucking accept you, and I never will accept that. But then Ari was like, I'd go to church with her, even though he said he wasn't as far along spiritually. What the fuck does that mean?
I am like, I don't know what Ari's like. I know he's like not religious. I know that.
No. But he already admitted that.
Yeah, he said that. But like, what does that mean? Like, does that mean he's looking for a religion? Like, that's what he made it sound like.
Yeah,
like, it makes
not far along means he's trying to move along, but obviously he's not. So
he said the right things to the right people, right? Like, yeah, sure, I'll go to church, knowing full well he's like, no way, man. Like, he's not going to no church.
Yeah, with Uncle Gary as the pastor. Like, come on.
Uncle Gary's
today we're gonna read from Psalms 112.
112. Uncle Gary, you did that already.
That was last week.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man.
It's worth reading again. This is a good one.
It's a good one. They're all good. It's a good one. It's a good book.
Oh boy. Well, after Uncle Gary, he met her mom, who was very, very sweet. And old Jill gave the exact same answer as the other parents. I honor whatever her choice is because I trust her and I love her.
Mm-hmm.
So
Which are the right moves, right thing. Uncle Gary ended up being into Ari just fine, of course.
Yeah.
Also, which was the really the tale for all of these. They all seemed like they're going to be really hard on him at first, and then they were just fine.
Yeah, and Beck Axe on the love meter, she said, "I'm falling and I'm falling and I'm falling and I still am," which that's a new one for me, but that sounds pretty deep.
It's just a variation on "I'm falling in love with you."
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of a nice variation.
It's a nice variation. Yeah.
I'm not a fan of this term for kissing when people say, "Man, they're sucking face," but Ari sucked her face in the family driveway.
Ari sucks faces. That's what he does. He's
he
a
does.
weirdo. He sucks
literal.
face. It's awful. He's terrible.
He couldn't help himself. Yeah, I can imagine. I just picture Uncle Gary with a glass of holy wine, looking out the window at that and
just
doing a spit take or something.
Like,
yeah.
What was it? Like Rick wouldn't have liked that. Like whatever they kept talking about to Michael or whatever her dad's name was.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They kept like saying his name specifically. Anyways,
R.I.P. Obviously wasn't memorable enough for us to remember.
Someone on Twitter pointed out that when Uncle Gary said her dad's name when he did the toast, she said, "Yeah," to Dad, like reminding Ari that that's who it was.
Oh, interesting.
And I thought about that because she was like, that's a brutal sign that she's worried that Ari wouldn't remember that. But I think it could also have just been for the camera. I don't know. I'm going to put that out there just to be like, hey, maybe that is true. I'll let the listeners sort of decide that. But like, I was like, I don't know. I don't know if that's exactly what that was, but it might have been. It could have been.
Could have been.
Yeah.
Could have been. So Beckhack, I guess, I don't know. It's hard to rate these dates because they all kind of went the same way.
Yeah, they really did.
Even Lauren's, by the time we got to Lauren B's, well, as soon as I saw Lauren B's like family's palatial estate, which we thought might be a plantation.
Yeah,
which is kind of a harsh thing to say, but you never know. It's in Virginia, right?
It looks like it. It looks like the house they live in Django Unchained. It's like that Leonardo DiCaprio owns, man.
Which seems, I mean, not the plantation thing, but you can tell Ari kind of resonates more with the upper class. It feels like, you know what I mean?
Like
the other houses seem kind of middle class, but you can just tell Ari's the type of guy that he likes the finer things in life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I've never been to Virginia, so like maybe all the houses look like all the bigger houses. Obviously, not every house looks like that, but like maybe that's like when there's a fancy looking house, that's what it looks like, right? Like it's, I don't know, maybe that's just the style or whatever, but looked rough to me.
In this, I mean, even though I think we all more or less agreed Lauren B was sort of top seed going into this. This was the one that was looking dicey because during dinner, Ari had to get up. I mean, I know this has happened before, and it's like, well, they edited it to make it look like he was nervous, but maybe he was just getting up to piss.
Yeah.
I forget who that happened to last time, but I don't know. And then the classic military dad was giving him the gears, and then Ari's like, I went to Iraq once with some other race car drivers. And he loved that.
That was it. He had him.
Turned on a dime.
Guy wanted Ari to be his best friend after that. Like, 100%.
And I don't want to minimize what Ari did. That is awesome. Like, and I don't think that's the kind of thing you do reluctantly. Like, I guess I'll go to Iraq. And that's a big trip, right? Yeah. So I don't know why any soldier would want to see a second-rate race car driver.
They never heard of, right?
Not sure about that appeal, yeah. But in any case, old Dave B was totally into it.
He was hooked. He was into Ari from the second he said that. He was just like, he cheers them and like was like, thank you. It's like, no, don't thank Ari. Geez, like thank, soldiers or whatever if you want. But
thank the organizing committee.
Yeah, thank the USO who brought him over there, certainly paid for him to go there, and certainly kept him safe the whole time. He wasn't anywhere near combat. No area where there could have been anyways.
And as soon as they got to that point, Dave goes, "I'll tell you what, we trust Lauren. Lauren is a smart lady. If she likes you, I like you." So he passed the dad hurdle, which he'd been passing all Hometowns episode more. Then Lauren's mom came in, was a little more, I'd say maybe a little more tough than Dave was.
Yeah. I agree. I think she was a little harder on him, which is good. Everyone, I'll say this. Yeah, Lauren B's family, Lauren B is boring, and Lauren Boring's family is also boring. But like, I think people were being overly harsh on her mom. Her mom was just like a quiet woman. Like everyone on Twitter was going really nuts about like Lauren B's mom
really?
being boring. Yeah, and it's like, well, yeah, okay, but like, come on, man, this is just just an average like white woman in Virginia, probably.
Why does she have to be exciting?
Yeah, why does she have to be exciting? Exactly. Like, whatever,
That's
man.
weird.
Chill out. Like, she's all right.
That's a little bizarre. We're allowed to pick away at Lauren.
Yeah,
she
right.
put herself up to this.
Like,
so.
why are we picking on her mom? That felt weird. But anyways, I thought she was asking good questions.
Yeah.
She wasn't jumping around the room or anything, or but she was asking them some tougher questions than the dad did. That's for sure. Dad's like, you like race cars? Wicked. Like
you like armies?
Oh, armies are good. Yeah. And then they were best buds, and they drank beers together. This one was at least grilled him a little bit.
Old Pam was like, can you really settle down with one person after dating like 30 women? And then Ari stuck to the script. I'm falling in love with Lauren, and I'm just really excited to see where this goes.
Yeah. Just read from the script that he was probably given by the producers.
His lawyer.
Yeah.
Not a bead of sweat on his forehead. Didn't they always say, someone's lying if they look left when they're saying it. He straight on
down the barrel. Yeah. Well, he did all right though.
After Lauren's mom talked with Lauren, and Lauren again said she's falling in love with Ari and that she had never felt the same thing before. That was Lauren's big thing. She was like, he's just like me. I've never felt this way about anyone before. During the rose ceremonies, like, we look at each other and I know what he's thinking, which just sounds like Ari sold her on the whole, like he sold every other woman. I mean, of course she's going to feel like that. You have to at this point. I mean, I guess it's good. If Lauren feels, honestly think this is happening, then it's good not to have doubts, because that'll give her an advantage until she gets dumped, if she does.
Right.
I don't know if she's getting dumped.
The only thing that holds me back from thinking that it's definitely Lauren B, because that's what everyone is saying. That's what everyone thinks, all the blogs and all the Twitter and all that. But like, that's because the show wants you to think that.
They've done this to us before, and let us not forget the mystery man, the mystery Southern man. We brought it up while we were watching it. We're like, whoa, it didn't happen this time.
So it's not Tia's guy. So obviously, and I didn't know this because I didn't even think of Lauren B was from Virginia, but it's Lauren B's ex-fiance for sure.
It's gotta be. It has to be.
So there's that. Plus, I remember that there's clips at the very beginning of Ari saying he fell in love with two women. So this thing of like, oh, he's in love with Lauren is like, he said that to her. So they want you to think it's Lauren B, but I bet you it's not.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, well, in the preview, he also wasn't it like it shows him saying I love you 3 times? Maybe that was in the preview that was after Winter Games yesterday. I don't remember. But yeah, I mean, it's implied that he gets himself into saying I love you a lot.
Yeah, I don't think Lauren wins this. I still think it's Bekak.
Oh yeah? Yeah. I mean, they have
like,
sort of.
It's like Kendall's got this question. She's the most actually interesting thing. I think he's going to end up dropping her because she's kind of like wishy-washy, and I think it's going to be between Bekak and Lauren, and then they're going to blindside the audience by him picking Bekak.
Yeah, my only thing about Bekak is they haven't introduced a lot of like doubt in their relationship.
Right.
You know what I mean? So in that sense, if they're playing their game, then it's Kendall. So I don't know.
I don't think Kendall. Yeah, Anyways.
I mean, I don't see them being a good
couple
right?
At all. I don't either at all.
I think she's way too good for him.
If they end up together, they will break up shortly thereafter, I think.
Yeah. So I mean, everyone already knows it was Tia, but there was somewhat of a dramatic moment during the rose ceremony when Ari left the room before giving out the roses, and then he talked to Kendall alone and asked, "I need to know if you can get there, if there's a chance you can get engaged." And Kendall dodged the question at least 3 times during this thing and never really gave a straight answer, which was maybe she did and it was edited out. I don't know. But she said, moving forward, like, I'm not ready for this to end at all, which isn't an answer. Then Ari's like, it's not about that though. It's about, could you be engaged and be comfortable in that? If you stay, someone else goes who's very ready to get married. And then she goes, I see a lot in you that I see in a partner for marriage. I can't say at this very moment that I'm ready to be engaged, but I see so much in you that I do love.
She's being realistic as possible in that moment.
Yeah.
She's being as realistic as she can be there. And I really like it. I respect that a lot.
Me too. The only thing is, though, like, I know on this show they treat engagement huge, and it is big. Engagement's huge. But this, like, the televised engagement, it's not that big of a deal.
That's
you can
true.
call it off. Who cares? It's not like, if it was a marriage, then yeah, that's big. Like,
yeah, if you had to get married at the end of the show, yeah.
Exactly. But the engagement is like nothing. Come on.
It's an engagement,
Like,
but like they can agree to be like, okay, well, let's be engaged for like 5 years before we get married or whatever they want to be. But like, I guess that's the idea, is that Ari doesn't want to be, like, he wants to get married.
Yeah.
Why? So you'll just get married to anybody then? Like, basically, it's kind of what you figure out when you go on the show. It's like, well, I guess I'll just marry one of these 30 women. I'll just play my odds and say, instead of going one of the any women I'll ever meet for the rest of my life, I'll go, you know what? Let's just pick 30 and then I got to pick one.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's what it is. And I guess that's what he's done.
Who was it at the end of Juan Pablo's season? Who made it to the end of that?
And
Claire, don't get me started on her.
Oh yeah, we gotta talk about that. Claire and someone else. I don't know. I didn't watch Juan Pablo season, so I don't know.
I forget.
I only know Claire because I've been watching the Winter Games and seeing they keep playing that clip of her leaving Juan Pablo at the end.
Arguably the most sane ending to any season.
Oddly enough, yeah. I would never want my children to have a father like you. Okay. That's very funny. Juan Pablo just so right on it right away. Okay.
Damn, man. Okay, well, Tia didn't get a rose. Andy and Liv were convinced it was going to be Kendall. You guys were. We were. But yeah, Tia's gone. And again, I don't think we've seen the last of her. I think she's a perfect person for the franchise going forward. And I can't say that about a lot of the women this season, because I think a lot of them are too good for it. Not that I'm downplaying Tia at all. I just think she's made for this, where a lot of the other women, like Cien, for example, it's like they're too smart.
Yeah.
They obviously have careers. Like Jacqueline was going to get her PhD. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. Tia's like what, a doctor or whatever, right? Like she runs her own practice, physiotherapy or something like that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So like, wow, man, you're doing good. Like, you don't need this. You don't need this shit. Like, you'll meet someone cool. You'll be fine.
Tia,
and you're like 26. Like, you're gonna meet somebody. Don't worry about it.
Tia was, I guess I forgot. It was in this episode. She was talking shit about Kendall up until the very end.
Yeah, it was this episode.
Like, come on, man. Anyway.
Yeah, no need. You don't need to. Anyways, whatever.
Shit. Winter Games. Let's talk Winter Games.
So there you go. Let's talk some Winter Games. Yeah.
I'll start things up. Let's say what we like and what we don't like about it.
All right.
Because I love, and I'm pretty sure everyone would agree with me on this one, the international aspect of it is awesome.
Yes.
Like seeing our boys Kevin and Benoit.
Yes.
For all you Americans who didn't get to enjoy them, we hope you're enjoying Kevin and Benoit. Obviously, Benoit is not there anymore. But Andy, as you said, the reaction to Benoit has just been so positive because he's such a nice guy. But you didn't see full Benoit because
I didn't.
You did. I mean,
I
like
didn't.
The Bachelor Canada. He had some creepy tendencies.
He did. Yes, he did.
He was licky and touchy
and trying to push Jasmine onto a bed at one point, and like Like it was more playful than that sounds for sure, but like it was also like, come on, Benoit, you don't have to do that. Like, no, stop, please. Like, you know, like it wasn't so gross or anything. But
and Kevin, who won that season with Jasmine, in their hometowns, Kevin's mom was like a total weirdo. She was
not cool.
Very much took ownership of her son and was like, if you marry him, you marry me, like that kind of thing.
It's like, what? No, I don't want to do that. Oh my God.
So, I mean, Jasmine ultimately picked him, but they broke up soon after. So anyway, I'm loving the internationals. They've all been a treat.
Oh man.
A couple of them are kind of boring, but Yuki.
I love Yuki, man.
Christian.
Love Yuki.
Some of the Aussies are a bit boring. They've kind of been off to the side, but I don't know. That's a question of screen time. So I love that. I love seeing the Americans interact with them. Here's what I don't like, though. The competitions, obviously there was going to be competition for this. That's kind of the whole thing. But they must have known that Kevin would just win everything, right? Like they know how good everyone is at winter sports. So my question is, why didn't they make these competitions sillier? Like they've been so straightforward. Like the speed skating is literally just do laps. Like, why couldn't it have been like, do one lap, go put on a chicken suit, go like juggle, you know what I mean? Like to even the playing field.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like they used to do that in Bachelor Pad.
But they did do this thing where like they knew Kevin was going to dominate that skating thing.
That was bullshit, though.
First of all, they put Kevin and Benoit on the same thing because obviously those two are the best skaters. But then, because if you grew up in Canada, you learned how to skate. Like you learned how to skate if you grew up in Canada. Even if you, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's lots of people in Canada who don't know how to skate, but like most people I know can at least skate in a very rudimentary way that is better than I'd say everybody else that were on that show except for Kevin and Benoit. Like even Stassi won her thing and like she was bad. Like she was bad. I was surprised the Swedes and the Finns weren't better skaters.
Me too.
Just because I just assumed that they are kind of similar to us in that way. Like, hockey's a big thing for us as well as them. So anyways,
I just think like the whole
but then they changed it, so it was the loser. Yeah,
that was stupid though, because then I mean, I just wanted the events to be sillier. That's what I was expecting.
Well, I thought that makes it silly, right? Then now you got to watch these four wobbly idiots skate around this thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Ben
but like,
was
why not
terrible.
Why not do something like make them get dizzy before they do it, or like I don't know. They just could have done a better job at that, maybe. But
I think you're right.
I don't know. So that's my problem.
Yeah.
And then Andy, I know you haven't watched the last episode.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
It took a turn for the worse.
Oof.
Everyone was starting to couple up, so a bunch of people left.
Oh.
And then at the end, they had a kissing contest for all the remaining couples. And the judges were Rachel, JoJo, and Ari. And it was really, really shitty. Like, totally awkward. So each couple had to go up and kiss, and then they got judged. And Dean and Lindsay did this fun, like, they did a little dance routine and then kissed. And then, but in the judges' eyes, that was bad.
Or Leslie, you mean?
Leslie, yeah, whatever her name is.
Yeah.
Anyway, it felt...
They didn't like that, eh? That's stupid.
No, which I don't even remember who got eliminated now.
Who's Ari to judge kissing?
Ugh.
He's awful.
Well, he's a kissing bandit.
He doesn't know jack shit about kissing. Let me tell you something about Ari Luyendijk. He doesn't know jack shit about kissing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Grabbing the back of a person's head and smashing your face into their like lips is not how you do it, man.
Yeah. So anyway, that's kind of my 2 cents. There's one more episode left. Unfortunately, now that they're kind of toward the end, they're more like it's about love.
Yeah.
When in the beginning, it was kind of this fun free for all of whatever. And like the first episode was like it seemed like a frat party with Josiah, like, and what's her name, totally making out on that couch.
Amy,
Allie.
Yeah, I think it's Allie.
She barfed in the last episode. By the way.
She got too drunk. Or was she sick?
No, I think she just got sick. I think she was nervous because nobody wanted to go up and kiss in front of everyone, especially the internationals.
The internationals,
like for the Americans, kissing in shows of these huge shows of affection are commonplace, but everyone else is kind of uncomfortable with it. And one other thing I don't like about this thing, Claire.
Yeah, I'm sick of Claire. Why did we have her back on? Who cares, man?
Oh, God. That whole thing with Christian, when that whole argument was so... It just completely showed what kind of a person Claire is. It was like, so Christian was just like, I kind of thought it was bullshit that you ditched me last night. And then he's like, I don't really mind. Like, I still want to date you, but that was kind of weird. And then she was like, what? Who are you to accuse me of da-da-da-da-da? She completely just misread what he was saying. It was ridiculous. I'm loving Christian, though.
I thought that what he said at first was really stupid, but maybe that's just the language barrier, because he was like, in Germany, when we say we'll go to jacuzzi, we'll go to jacuzzi. And it's like, all right, Christian, chill out, man. Sometimes you don't go to the jacuzzi, man. Like, just relax.
Party situation.
I don't know about in Germany, these jacuzzi rules, but like, here it's just kind of chilled out. It's a bit of a chilled out time, yeah, but then I'm just so sick of Claire anyways. Like, I don't care who was right. Like, shut up, get out of here, leave me alone.
I'm like, she shouldn't have ditched Benoit, but Benoit came on pretty strong.
Benoit is a sad human being, man.
He kept going back. I can't do the impression.
And I didn't see this part. I was watching this episode, but I was working at Bad Dog. I was at the bar bartending. And I had to turn the sound off at this part because people were there. So this is the only part of this episode that I missed. And of course, I wanted to hear what Benoit said. What did he say? I'll translate to Benoit for you.
Oh, he basically professed his love for her. And every time he kept going back to that time, they made like one dinner together.
We made dinner. You have a chicken breast. You with one guy. You have it for one guy. What for life? I love you.
That's pretty much what it was like.
That's pathetic.
Shit, I don't even remember the extent of the conversation. But it was, I think Liv and I were turned away for a lot of it because it was so embarrassing for Benoit. It was like, no, stop.
I have known you for 2 days only, but I feel like you have a part of my soul. Like, Benoit, give it a rest, man. It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he was really in on Claire. Holy shit.
Yeah. Oh, well.
That's rough. But, hey, maybe it's better he kind of went out on top in a way because he left sort of the sad, you're supposed to sympathize with him, right? And apparently American fans are digging Benoit.
Yeah, people liked him. I guess even after that weird thing, it seemed like everyone on Twitter was still into Benoit. Everyone's really into Kevin. The whole house is into Kevin, obviously.
Big time.
Everyone's loving him. Seems like he was a cool dude during this one. He seemed a lot cooler to me in this than he did on the Canadian Bachelor.
Me too. Same. He's been very even keeled. I mean, obviously, I hate that he's been hitting her with Ashley I because I think she's nuts. She annoys me pretty much 100% of the time.
I mean, on the other hand, though, I am happy that she's found someone. And I'm happy that Kevin has also found like if they work out, like good for them.
You're right. That worked out. I don't think it's gonna work out, but if it does, that'd be amazing.
I think it will. I have a feeling about it because it's like I don't know. It's like they both seem a little shallow, for one thing, and like neither of them are like rocket scientists. You know what I mean? Like they, like whatever. They're not dumb, actually, I don't know. Anyways, I don't want to say they're dumb. I don't know them. But they also, I just think that they're like their energy kind of fits. He's like this big jock, like bro guy, and she's like this super like princessy, like good looking. They're both quite good looking. I think they're like that kind of couple that you see in high school. They're just like, well, they're gonna get married.
They talked about the virginity thing in the episode you missed, and
and he was really nice about it, right?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. I mean, what are you going to say, really?
He was like, I don't understand how you could do this, basically. Like, I think that's crazy, but I respect it. So that's good.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, what else can you say?
Yeah. But again, the show's kind of fallen apart. I don't know how they're going to fill 2 hours on Thursday because they barely filled it on Tuesday. Like, the kissing contest, woof. So anyway, did we need to do a whole separate podcast about it? Probably not. We just covered it in
kind of turns
5
out.
minutes.
You know what? I did want to say that when it started, I was also very stoked. I loved the same things you did. I really liked when they would show Yuki not understanding what Chris Harrison was saying. Like whenever
Yeah.
Chris Harrison's talking and Yuki's just like looking at the ceiling. I was just, oh man.
Yeah.
I want to see that all day. It was so funny.
Yuki's a star. Like,
Yeah.
they're gonna find a way to get her back. I think maybe for Paradise or something. They got to.
I love it. She came in not speaking like a word of English, basically. She knew some little words. And then by the end, she was speaking in sentences. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, even like the end of that second episode, I was like, you are communicating remarkably well.
Fairly well.
Yeah.
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 You missed it, but Yuki had to say goodbye.
Yeah, I missed this.
Episode.
Okay, tell me why.
And it was great. Well, because it was weird. It was like they realized
Was
that
it because Ben left?
Yeah. So there was nobody else for her. They just decided that the couples that were there were the couples, so that she had no chance. And Chris Harrison came in and told her she had to leave. Chris Harrison delivered some pretty good Japanese.
Really?
Like,
you spoke to her in Japanese?
Yeah, it didn't even seem too rehearsed. And I mean, even if he had like a bug in his ear with a producer feeding him the lines, he pronounced them pretty well. So
cool.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a very cute moment, and Yuki was just very distraught at having to leave her new friends. She loves them all. She was sad to go back to Japan, but she's going to find a Japan boyfriend, and everything's going to be great.
Cool, man. Find that Japan boyfriend. Yuki,
But
go
man,
for it.
I want them to do more international mashups.
Oh, I love this mashup.
That's the big takeaway is
Yeah.
that they got to do this more often.
Okay.
It was really cool.
I got a question for you. Who do you think was the best looking woman and who do you think is the best looking dude?
Ooh, good question. Okay, I'm going to have to almost look at the cast here to figure this one out. Best woman. Let's see. Bachelor Winter Games.
So like some standouts for me were like say we will Ashley I still think she's good looking.
You dig her? Right.
I like the way I think she's got a good look, you know. I mean, it's type there, but yeah. I think Yuki is a
I think
true
Yuki
babe.
too, yeah.
Yuki's
Yuki might be the biggest babe.
Yeah, Yuki's right up there for me.
Let's see. We got Bibiana, Lauren. I don't even remember her.
Yeah.
Ashley I, Leslie.
Oh yeah, I like Leslie, but
Leslie's all right. Claire, no. I mean, best looking guy.
Best looking dude.
Diener, maybe. And then don't forget about Eric was there too. You know,
Oh,
I'm a big Eric fan.
We love Eric. Yeah, but he got booted off right away, right?
Yeah.
Him and the girl from China also, I think, left right away.
That's right. Yeah. You know who I thought was pretty hot was the Swede Rebecca. Who went on
the
that
other
first
Swede,
date.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not so into Stassi. She's got
No, me
it's a
neither.
little too
Too
plastic
much.
for me. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
same.
her lips are just that's too inflated for me, man.
Yeah. I like Allie too, the New Zealander.
Yes, yeah, I liked her as well. She seemed like a fun person. I get why Josiah was into her. Also, like, just Josiah was being so funny that first night, just being like, "You got that butt. You got," like, he was so.
Yeah, he's like,
like
we American.
It's like black
people,
male,
we're
like black males tend to like women with like a little more, junk in the trunk or whatever. And it's like,
the Finn. I like the Finn too, Jenny.
Yeah, I thought she was pretty good looking at first too, and then I remember seeing a couple shots of her. I was like, okay.
Yeah, a bit of a two-face.
But
in terms of,
I guess we're both Yuki men then.
yeah, I guess so. I mean, yeah, in terms of dudes, it's got to be Diener, Eric. The villain from New Zealand, who got Bibiana, he's kind of handsome.
He's like a ruggedly handsome man, yeah.
They kept making fun of the fact that he looked like a Bond villain, which I agree with.
Yeah,
that's true.
true.
Christian looks just like Gordon Ramsay, so no thanks. Liv loved how they compared Ben in this episode to Peter Brady.
Yeah, that's funny.
Which is very true.
Yeah, it's tough.
I'm not much of a Kevin man myself.
Yeah, and Benoit's too silly for me to think he's good looking. Although apparently all the girls thought the two Canadians were quite handsome.
And they're good at sports too, so that helped. Well, it's like there are two different looks. Like you got Benoit, he's slimmer, he's not as muscular, but he's super nice. And then you got the sort of Kevin, who's the classic beefcake.
Yeah.
So little something for everyone.
Little something for everyone there. Yeah. I guess it's. Yeah, that evil Australian guy seemed like he was maybe a bit of a handsome catch.
And I'm hoping that somehow comes back and he dumps Bibiana like ruthlessly in the last episode. You know what I mean? Because they spent a long time talking about that in that one episode about how he
flipped a coin.
controversy in New Zealand, which I kind of enjoyed hearing about.
Yeah,
so.
it was fun to hear about it. It's cool to get like updated. I loved seeing the footage from the other bachelors.
Oh, me too.
When they were showing like where they got off in the show, like how they were dumped or whatever.
Loved it. Loved it.
Yeah, I'd love to see a Summer Games personally.
Yeah, it's like the concept was good, but as always, the execution was a little sloppy. It's like, how do you make this show a competition, but also it's about falling in love, which it started off okay with everyone kind of randomly coupling up, and then the rose ceremonies were like they just were making it up as they went along. Like the first one was a vote off, the second one wasn't.
Weird.
It was like Paradise Hotel all over again.
I did like how it was like the competitions got you the date cards, like that.
That was fine.
That's cool.
That
like
makes
that's
total sense.
As opposed to just randomly handing them out like in Paradise, Bachelor in Paradise. So I like this competition aspect of it. Whereas Bachelor Pad, rather, that's our show. Bachelor Pad, when it was on, it was like a bit too much about the competition, right?
Okay.
There wasn't enough of the coupling up and stuff. It seemed like, okay, you're my teammate, we're gonna try and win this, and then they never really cared if they got together or gave each other roses or whatever. So
yeah,
this seems to be nicely in the middle for me. Although there's still some flaws that they could iron out. But I think I like. So far, I haven't watched the third episode, but so far I like this better than the last season of Bachelor in Paradise. That's for sure.
I think you'll fast forward a lot through the next one because I know I did.
All right.
So Sarah's not here, so we don't have an official rumor corner.
Yeah, there's no gossip corner.
Gossip, but I did read on. This isn't even gossip. This is public knowledge if you're in Bachelor Nation. But on the Bachelor subreddit, somebody posted about Tanner and Jade going on Ashley and Ben's
I saw this,
Almost Famous podcast, and it does not help Tanner's case.
No.
Here is what this is quoting user Swimfish09 on Reddit. Here's what he or she gave as the synopsis. He is so insanely selfish, talking about his one diaper a day. Jade spending too much time with the baby, expecting her to be physical with him when she's waking up every 1.5 hours with the baby, wanting time to breathe after work and not having to hold the baby, saying he prefers her with makeup. And then she goes, that's only 11 minutes in. And then he said he will only eat at chain restaurants because if it was good there.
If it was good, there'd be more of them.
There would be more. And he won't eat leftovers or anything cold. He sounds like a fucking shithead.
He sounds like a total shithead. I commented on that, saying that the guy's a total shithead.
Yes.
And we knew this from that marriage counselor show or whatever the hell that was. And this stuff, apparently, like he wants to have sex with her while there's some other people talking about what he said and what Jade was saying on her podcast, I think. And it's like he wants to like have sex with her sometimes when the baby's still crying, and Jade had to explain to him why that's upsetting for her. She doesn't want to get fucked by her husband while her baby's crying in the other room and she can hear it. Like, Jesus. Tanner.
That's bad.
Is Tanner a monster?
Yes. I think he is. And he was one of our that just goes to show like what we see on the show is not reflective of what these people are really like. I mean, we love Tanner.
We I guess it was just easy for him to play it so cool in Paradise, right? He didn't. There's no real stuff to deal with there. When he was on The Bachelor, he was not a factor. He would just come in and have the occasional quip and be funny, and like that's easy. So like, there's no question that he's got that like kind of smarmy, like not even smarmy. Like it doesn't come across that way at first. It comes across just as kind of charming and funny. But then you put him in a real life situation where now he's married. And has to live, and he's got all these expectations of his wife, and like now they have a baby, and like it's like what a fucking nightmare it must be for her to live with that guy.
Yeah.
One diaper a day.
He sounds like a guy from like the not even like the 60s or something. Like a man can only change one diaper a day. That's what a man does. Any more than that, and he's gay. You know?
Yeah.
That makes me so mad.
I know, me too. It just
Some people were saying that the relationship makes sense because Jade has no self-esteem or something. Like she's not, which is terrible that he kind of just takes advantage of that.
That's what he does, though. Someone said on that thread, it's like it's a classic narcissist and dependent or something relationship.
Like, how are the rest of the people or Bachelor friends not being like, that's not normal, you know?
Isn't she on a fucking podcast with like Carly and someone else? Like,
I don't even know.
They're on like a mom podcast where like that's what they talk about. It's like, how are you telling your friends this and your friends aren't like, fucking leave him?
Yeah, that's bad. That's real bad.
It's really
Speaking
bad.
of moms, Evan's ex posted something on an Instagram story that said, which we all believe is pointing right to Evan, the dick doctor. Ex-husband just had a new baby and now doesn't want to pay for our boys to go to private school anymore. Guess new baby's more important. Get you an ex-husband. They the best. So if that's true, fuck you, Evan.
That's what Evan's baby mama had to say.
Oof. Rough. So
gotta pay for those kids, Evan. You're making all that Instagram FabFitFun money now. Come on,
God.
man, get in.
Is
on
he
that
doing
shit.
that? Is he in on that?
I don't know. Probably. Carly definitely is.
Oh boy.
He's probably still got a successful dick practice wherever
Yeah,
he lives.
he's doing dicks, so he's probably all right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
all right.
well,
I got a jet.
Yeah, I gotta make my dinner. So next week is the Fantasy Suite week, which is the fuck dates. Plus, we got Women Tell All. So
It's a big week next week. We got Women Tell All. It's the finale. We'll recap briefly the finale of the Winter Games.
Andy, you're gonna be in LA. You're gonna be on the coast. So
that's true. How are we even gonna do that?
Figure that out.
Figure that out. Yeah.
You gotta bring some gear up to LA or borrow someone's microphone because we got it. This is a big episode.
It's a big episode. We gotta do it. Yeah. How are we gonna do this? Okay. Well, we'll figure it out. Okay.
Or we got some. We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
Don't you worry. We promise we're gonna be back next week.
Yes, we will definitely have an episode next week.
Bachelor Pod Guarantee, which, as you know, is a seal of integrity.
You can count on it. You can set your watch to that. You can bet your kids' lives on that.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. We say it's going to happen. We guarantee it. It's going to happen.
We never tell a lie.
Never tell a lie. All right. We'll see everybody next week then.
Yeah, have a good week, everybody. Bye.
Bye. If you want to contact us, you can reach out to us on social media. We're at The Bachelor Pod on Twitter, and individually, we're at Andy Holbone,
At Glenn McCauley.
At Olivia McCauley. At the Sarah Hillier. That's @ THESARAHHILIER.
If you want to support the show directly, you can go to patreon.com/thebachelorpod and donate there. Otherwise, we're thebachelorpod@gmail.com for an email and thebachelorpod.ca. That's our website.